My name is Cavallin, and I'm a charcoal artist. Well, I remember being in grade 10, and I was writing this fantasy book for just for fun, and I had my English teacher reading it, and I started doing the illustrations for it. But then I decided, you know what, I like this a whole lot more, and over time I just started drawing more and more. That was as far as I took writing, but um, ever since then I went from like fan art to portraiture, and now I'm starting to branch out into um, more creative narratives of sorts. I have some experience with design, so I'm trying to incorporate art and design into some of my newer drawings. I get a lot of my inspiration from friends, models. I I'm very interested in face, like well, obviously I'm interested in faces, but I'm very interested in the stories that faces can tell and what kind of emotions can be conveyed and sent across. I think some faces are particularly good at certain emotions over others. It's tremendously fulfilling to create a likeness, and I think it's for the longest time it was very substantive, and it took me a very long time to branch out into narrative work because I was so interested in just the portrait. But yeah, I don't know. Art has always been how I've transcended challenges. It's how I've created. Uh, it's how I've created identity, and it's just done a ton of things for me. Most of the time, the people I draw, when they see the drawings, they're very impressed, and it's always really, really nice to see. Um, I will say the most emotional, heartfelt reactions I've gotten are from my pet portraits, and I don't do them nearly as much. But owners absolutely love their pets, and um, the times when I've given them their pet portrait back, and I've seen tears in their eyes almost. It's just a really, really um, I don't know, like there's you can't get that in like that. To me, that's just so hard to come by and to get, and it reminds me of just how meaningful art can be to people, and it's one of the things that I really enjoy. In my experience, the best way to work with charcoal is to use unconventional tools. Um, so because charcoal is so dramatically, charcoal to me is such a dramatic and harsh medium. Um, I always I, I I get around a few of the issues with charcoal with softer applications. So something that is it okay if I okay. I like drawing with I'll use charcoal powder instead of pencils, where I'll just sand my pencils down into powder, and I apply all of my charcoal with paintbrushes and makeup sponges. I actually have um, more makeup sponges than a lot of people that I know, and it's kind of funny. Um, to me, if you can use uh, tones and tone in portraiture, especially where planes of the face are just so subtle, it's very helpful to be able to have softer applications for things like charcoal. And charcoal is a very rewarding medium, so it's definitely something I love working with and will continue to work with. It's tremendously valuable to just experience things because of how much you learn from everything and how much of everything that you use. Art is a particularly unique field where it isn't necessarily a matter of skill, it can be a matter of taste. And as hard as I push myself technically, um, some of the real breakthroughs for me have come from just drawing from experiences, and that could be any kind of culture. It could be art that you like. It could be experiencing new music or new shows, movies, things that sort of broaden your palette or broaden your cultural experiences, for lack of a better word. And the other thing is, I believe in the importance of pushing yourself. I think it's also very important to give yourself permission to feel good about what you've done. And perspective to me is tremendously important. Maybe 5 years ago, I thought that I had to be just absolutely perfect. Like, I had to create like excellent art. Like, and it I don't know. It takes time to. It takes time to foster the skill set and your tastes and sort of prevailing motifs, and how long it takes doesn't make it less valuable, it makes it more valuable. People can find me on my website at jacobcavallin.com. They can also find me on TikTok at Drawings by Jacob, or they can find me on Instagram at drawings.by.jacob.